Welcome back to DeRo and the Diehard podcast. This week, DeRo, he messaged me. He said, you know what? Let's do an all-Canada affair. And of course, we're both patriotic. Why the hell wouldn't I agree?
Why not, man? Why not? Let's go all in Canadian.
Busy week in Canadian football. I mean, like so many moments. Feels like Toronto's on top of the world right now. Canada's on top of the world football-wise. We had the crazy CPL Final. We had AFC Toronto advance to their final. We have the international break coming up. It's really hitting a moment right now with Canadian soccer.
I'm gonna touch on my generation.
All right, go ahead.
A little bit. You know, growing up in Toronto, in Canada, I remember days where it only be soccer Saturdays with Graham Leggett. You know,
okay, and
that was all the soccer we really had. You know, a couple channels, Italian channel, we'll say the one or two, you know, games in Italy, but that was it. That was the brunt. You're getting English soccer and you're getting Italian soccer on TV, right? Maybe it was TLN or TLN or something.
TLN
like
is the Italian network, where you get Serie A.
And then 90s came around, and it was the same thing, you know. And then you would get like the odd TSN will show, you know, the odd match here and there. And then here we are in the 2000s. You know,
do anything you want.
It's unbelievable with the power of. And I always stress the power of professional soccer coming to Canada. And I always give respect and props to Toronto Lynx because they were the visionaries that saw an appetite for soccer in this city, especially in Toronto and in this country with the Vancouver Whitecaps. Not the Whitecaps we have now, but the original Whitecaps and Montreal. They saw the vision that there's an appetite for soccer in those cities and in those countries when there was the A-League.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. And
go back to NASL with the Toronto Blizzards. And you know, the MLS is all contribution of all that work that was put in. Yeah. Right. And I always want to give credit and respect to all those ownership groups, all those people that dedicated so much countless hours with zero to no pay to provide a product for kids like myself, because I started at Toronto Lynx.
Yeah.
To play pro or somewhat pro, but that was pro for us because we were getting paid. It was we were traveling, competing against teams in the States.
That was what it was at the time.
That's what it was in time. 2007 comes, MLS comes to town, and everything just exploded after that.
Yeah, totally.
You know, when you look at our national team that we'll talk about today that's competing against Ecuador, when you look at that roster, how many kids have came through MLS pathway? Mm-hmm. Of course, you have Jonathan David. He's the phenomenon, right? He's the one kid that came from League One and went straight to Belgium. Yeah. Amazing story.
But even Davies.
Davies came
went
through
Edmonton and Whitecaps
to Whitecaps, right? But I'm talking about players that played, the impact that MLS academies have had, and of course now we're watching our U17s, the first time ever, not only winning a game in a World Cup, but qualifying to the next round. Yeah. And if you look at the roster there, it's a common denominator: TFC, Vancouver Whitecaps, Montreal Impact. Those are the pathways. And that's, if we want to compete with the rest of the world, that's how it has to be. Because these kids in these environments, they're getting exposed to competition. They're getting exposed to, hey, having to not train comfortable. You always have to look over your shoulder. There's another kid coming to take your spot. Yeah. And you can't put a price to that. And that's why I truly believe, and not only believe, know that our men's team is reaping the benefits of that. Our youth teams now are reaping the benefit of that. And of course, we see women's soccer is also benefiting from that as well, because a lot of that funding is being contributed and supporting to help the women's grow, rightfully so, here in Canada. So some juicy stuff today, guys. My passion, I let it out. Lovely. But I'm just so proud to, you know what I mean? To know that even if I had a little fragment, even if you drop a little dot of salt and know that impact, but all those it's needed to be mentioned that there was a past in this 100% game, in this country.
That affects
the reason why, the ripple effect, the reason why it is now. So, man, let's get into it.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get into it, Diehard. Let's go. Let's go right into it. CPL Finals.
Can't believe that game. I couldn't believe that game. I think when you search up Canadian sports, playing soccer in not just snow, in a blizzard.
Yeah.
In what like that's a blizzard. That's a blizzard you see in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer animated 1958, whatever.
I don't know where that came from.
We didn't get it. So they get it over there. I couldn't believe that they actually played through it, and the only time they cleared the pitch was extra time.
Well, we
after
did
a
get
full
it
90.
because I was at York Lions Stadium.
And was it that bad?
I was supposed to do the coin flip for the AFC game against Montreal, and they canceled the game.
That's right.
People were there shoveling the snow off, and because of the weather, it couldn't see the lines because it kept snowing, covering it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't have the equipment and the resources that the CPL does, but. I was out there. I was like freezing my behind off, and I was like, okay, so are this happening or not? And then of course the game got canceled, and they played the other day, which we'll talk about as well.
Yeah.
But man, what a spectacle, and it sent trembling all over the world. People were calling me and was like, DeRo, man, what's going on over there? What kind of game?
That clip made the rounds everywhere. That clip was the first page on Sportsnet. That clip was all over social media. It was on OneFootball's website. I saw it everywhere. And that's so good for, like you were saying earlier on, for Canada to have a clip from a league like the CPL literally go viral.
Yeah, I say kudos to CPL too. Well done in putting together a great product on visually on TV.
Great game too, actually.
Commentating was great. The desk and the layout, and it felt really really pro. So you could see that they're really trying. Victor Montagliani was there. The vice president of FIFA, president of CONCACAF was there, always showing his patriot love to Canada and his commitment to the game. And you know what? It's amazing to see, because what I see every time I see the CPL, more opportunities for kids.
I see a lot of more talent every time I watch.
And more talent.
Yeah,
and
like
talent.
the product gets better and better and better over the year.
David Rodriguez. Wow.
2 goals.
Amigo. Wow. Makes a strong case for himself.
Are you kidding me?
Not only does he score a golazo, right? He then chips the keeper.
Little dink.
Oh my goodness! Class.
Little how are you? Little.
I know if I know if I'm in MLS, I'm looking. You have to even preseason.
I mean, at this point, like
you don't just score goals like that in big matches like that. A lot of players make the dance, but not a lot of players perform at the dance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're in the final and you could produce consistently in the final,
like that,
1 goal, 2 goals, and that bicycle kick, that scissors kick.
Take your pick, man, because they're both brilliant goals. But like the bicycle kick it's so audacious to try that.
Yeah,
you're down 1-0.
Just a willingness to do it.
You're down 1-0.
And it was instinctual.
Oh
yeah, what I really liked. It was very instinctual. It was just like the moment happened, and I just did it because that's what was needed at the time. Like, yeah, he could have brought it down. He could have tried to turn and do all this. But the fact that he threw his body up there and committed himself, and que golazo. It
was electric. Both of the goals were fantastic. I thought it was an excellent game. Like it was so back and forth, and especially DR's case, to try what he did in the weather that he was playing in, to run to control a ball like that, to chip a keeper, the balls, man.
Yeah,
the balls, and he's got skill. And I think you're right. I think that this is not only this is an example of a guy who's already really skilled. Obviously, like we see it on the field, he's already a great player. He had a decent season for them. But to see him show up in a final, a young guy like that, and score 2 goals and play a great game and be clutch, for me, those intangible attributes are the ones you have to buy quickly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's definitely sparked eyes and ears. He sparked my eyes and ears. I was like, wow, I have to read up him and his history, great history, come from Mexico. Yeah. And what I really loved was his comment after, right, is that people think, you come to Canada and it's just easy. It's not easy for some of these kids. No. Football world is not easy. No, and respect for him for being vulnerable in that moment and saying that. He said it. He had a very difficult year. But what a great way to cap it off, young man. Winning yourself MVP of the match, winning your team, their first ever CPL title, championship. And like I said, it's not easy for immigrants to come to this country, for our parents to come to this country. It wasn't easy, and he adapted. And great job of Ottawa picking up a very, very good talent. Now the question is I don't know how long you're gonna hold on to that talent.
Probably not that long, to be honest.
Score 2 goals like that in a final. Come on, man, you gotta.
Especially with a clip like that going like everywhere, everybody's seeing it. We might be seeing him in the MLS next year. Dare I say, we might be seeing him in Europe. Like, I don't like this
or might be seeing him in Liga MX.
This guy,
in Mexico.
You know, there's no ceiling for a guy like that who's young, who's already faced a lot of trials and tribulations when coming here as an immigrant, and then you're going into a final like that. I can't believe it. Also, thing is, I'd love for him, you know, coming from Mexico, right? Doesn't drop below 10 degrees there probably. He's probably never seen snow in his life.
Never.
And then he's coming to a...
Not probably. He has never seen snow in his life in Mexico.
A blizzard.
Where in Mexico, you know, snows.
The mountains, maybe? Like, I don't know. Is he going up there? But we can make a very good assumption that he's never seen weather that cold or that much snow in his life before. Like, so...
And he was
good
balling.
on him, man. He was balling.
He performed. Great product. Great job, Ottawa. Great job, Calvary. And... you guys both did well. You made a great, exciting game.
It's a great game.
As a senior player in Canada, as a person that advocate and loves the game, you guys really, really had me tuned in the whole time. Even when they took our break, I was still watching. I was like waiting.
Yeah.
You know, so to get me like that, you know how hard it is to get this guy like that?
Hey, man.
I could barely watch football for the whole 90 minutes. No, I'm being honest. So
why? Why is that though? Quick sidebar. Why is that?
I just think football, it doesn't excite me anymore.
What is it, like the lack of individuality?
The playing, the flair, the competitiveness, the constant.
You're not alone in thinking that though. You know that, like, there's a lot of people that also agree with that thinking, especially even like the tail end of my generation, because I also grew up watching like late 2000s when it was still individuality was the expression, was the priority. It's only later that it's kind of got a little bit systematic. I will say. Yeah,
you know, and in that game, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw I saw youthfulness bringing out passion, desire, commitment, sacrifice. You know, usually a final is a chess game. Mm-hmm. People don't want to make mistakes. You know, it's like, you know, I'll poke you, you poke me.
A bit timid.
But it was back and forth from the first whistle.
Yeah.
It was like, boom,
I think it had to be because of the weather.
Yeah, well, no, I just think they just said, let's just go and just take the game to them.
Yeah, true.
And then Ottawa tried to punch him, and Kyrie was like, okay, well, we're going to come back to you. Because that first play, they went straight for the goal.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, all right.
They were shooting all the time. Yeah. So, and it's nice. And you know, it's too bad the other teams don't adopt that philosophy, because the reason, I imagine, I'm going to assume, they're shooting all the time because of the weather, and like it's hard to stop a ball if you bounce it right before it hits the goalie. It's in the snow; it could go anywhere. Why don't we just adopt that philosophy when it's not snowing outside?
Well, I think
everybody just shoot the ball. And no, seriously, I'm seeing a lack of shots outside of the box 100%.
Now. You know, that's my game.
That's your game. That is your trait, man.
And that's true. Everybody wants to pass the ball into the net.
Can't stand it.
You know,
can't stand it.
Striking the ball from distance. It's. I always tell my kids that all the time, man. When you see the net,
put your foot through it.
Yeah, put your through it, but with intention. Pick out the corners and, you know, inside the foot. You don't always have to just drive it as hard as you can. Kick the ball with intentions, with a curl. But, you know, anyway, get me into it. But, you know, that's what makes our national team exciting too.
Yeah,
they play on their front foot. They're aggressive. They're taking their game, imposing their style on the other team, and it doesn't matter who it is.
They're not overcomplicating the game.
I like that.
I
could enjoy football like that. CPL, what a great final.
100%. Let's move on to AFC Toronto. They reached the first ever NSL final in the inaugural season. Esther Okoronkwo scoring a hat trick. 6-1 over Montreal in the aggregate. Toronto's been the dominant force in the NSL throughout the entire season. They got the most wins by a long shot. They finished first place. Now they're taking on the Vancouver Rise in the final, who ended up third. It's going to be a really good match, and it's going to be at BMO Field. So,
oh, fantastic. Again, you know, kudos to Northern Soccer League, the NSL. Doing a great job. Of course, first year, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some hiccups, but I know everybody, the organizers, are going to take so much from this year, build into next year, and I can only see that league getting better and better and better. Listen, as I said, I was there Monday evening, ready Sunday. I take it back. I was there Sunday evening, ready to do the coin toss, and I'm up in the box and I'm looking out and I'm seeing hundreds of fans.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
it was great.
I was taken back. I was like, wow. I had a moment there. I was like, wow. Because, with the weather like that, I'm thinking, okay, man, it might be just me flipping the coin and sitting in the stands.
Yeah. You're not wrong. The weather
Right?
is, yeah.
And let's be honest, for women's soccer, like
big.
I'm calling the way it is. Like I'm thinking, okay, it's weather's outside, it's women's soccer. There's not going to be probably a lot of people, and I don't want to sound no way saying that. I'm just being genuinely honest.
No,
right?
100%. Yeah, I agree with you.
But when I looked out there and I saw hundreds of people, I was like, yes, this is what it's about. This is what it's about, supporting the women's game. And it wasn't like, okay, there out of the 100 people, it was like, this soccer club with all their girls. This soccer, it was families. It was patrons there to support the women play, and that for me was I honestly, despite everything that happened, for me, just witnessing that, for me, really made me feel warm and made me felt very proud to know that the women's game is in a safe place. So that's what I want to say. Northern Soccer League, again, just like the CPL, amazing. And I'm so proud that women's soccer is here. Professional women's soccer is here to stay. It's supported. I'm going to continuously support that because I cannot help not support it when I see fans coming up and showing up with a game like that. We had our Tribal Rhythm Nations out there. As soon as I got there, they're like, DeRo, what's going on? I'm like, what? West Indians are out here, and you guys are beating drums and supporting the girls in the snow.
Yeah, in this weather.
I was like, man, it's so cold. The skin might jump off the drum and run inside. But they were there ready to play for the women. Man. So I was like, yeah, you know what? You guys, amazing, man. Amazing. And just to know that they're getting that support. As you said, they're again in the final. Heavy favorites against Vancouver.
Heavy favorites.
I can't wait. I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. We encourage all you guys to get your tickets. Come support the women's game. Come support our local women's.
I think I might be there too, actually.
No, you are going to be there. You're going to be there. You should be there because it's a historic moment.
No, for sure,
It's a real historic moment.
What I've noticed about Toronto is that we really, really support women's sports.
Yeah, we're a sports city.
We are a sports city, and that means whatever team we're going to get, men, women, they're going to support it. There was a WNBA game here a couple of years ago, and I went to that up in the box. When I tell you that they packed out Scotiabank Arena to the brim for that game. PWHL, the Toronto Scepters, they show up and they pack the hell out of the ice over there. And now we got AFC Toronto. So I think, like you said earlier, you touched on how you could see this league growing after. First year's never going to be easy. That's just the fact of it. But once you see the audience and the appeal, it's going to grow after that. I would not be surprised heading into their second year that there's going to be some expansion teams the same way that PWHL has it, even though it's hockey and it's bigger naturally. I love it. I think it's fantastic for the sport. I think it's fantastic for this country. And it's important to have those role models. The same way that you were saying that there's that next generation of Canadian kids that are going to be watching what's happening now and growing up. Young girls are going to be watching this league. They'll be like, I want to play for AFC Toronto.
My niece, okay, she got a little injury and stuff, but huge inspiration. A lot of those girls that didn't have that back in days. Exactly. That's why I was going back to my conversation.
Exactly.
What Toronto FC has brought to this city, like to know that you can go down the road in our own backyard and watch professional soccer. You could watch Rosario play, your national team player, Richie Laray, your national team player.
Yeah.
Watch them play against Messi. Watch them play against, all these world superstars.
All caliber players.
And our national team, that we can have a home stadium that's a big Canadian flag right in the middle of it.
Yep.
And we could finally go there where Canadians are supporting Canadians. It doesn't matter who we're playing against. It's no more the narrative, we're playing away in Canada. Because I've been through a lot of those matches, and it's extremely disheartening.
Yeah.
When you're playing Jamaica or you're playing Mexico and you're playing whoever it is, Honduras, and you're getting more support from the away team, and you're Canada, and it's like a few people, Canada. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, bro, what's going on here?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Now it's good now.
Now it's great because now the whole stadium is singing it.
Hell yeah.
Passionately, proudly.
We got good fans, man. We got really good fans, and they show out. And what I love about our fans is that they reflect the edginess and the grittiness of our team.
That's football.
And I love it because, again, my dad and I were TFC ticket holders maybe about 15 years ago. And we would go to games, and they were not in a good spot at that point, and the weather was not good because the weather in this country is fucking flip a coin, and it's raining, snowing, hailing, sunny. Like there's no in between, and we're one of the few out there in ponchos in the pouring rain. But when it comes now that the sport has grown in this country, they don't give a damn what it is outside. They're showing up. They'll probably be shirtless in the snow, banging drums.
Well, we saw that at the CPL final. A couple guys
probably shirtless in shorts, because there are some Canadians that are crazy like that. So I love how the fans reflect the grittiness. It's just right now they're one cohesive unit, and it couldn't be better to see. Man.
Toronto's a special place.
I love it.
Professional women's basketball. Shout out Tempo.
Tempo
coming. You got professional women's hockey, women's soccer. You got. It's
we'll count them now, right? AFC Toronto, Toronto Tempo, Toronto Scepters, soccer, basketball, hockey. All right, Jays, Leafs, TFC. Who's our local CPL team? What are they called again?
CPL?
Yeah.
Oh, York.
York.
Yeah.
I know a guy who plays for York actually.
York FC. They're York FC. They're York United.
That's 7 teams right there, and I'm definitely forgetting some. We have a lacrosse team, but I mean...
Yeah, we have a lacrosse. No,
Toronto Rock, I guess. So that's 8 professional teams.
Lacrosse, we got 2 hockey teams.
2 Marlies as well. That's Marlies. Right. Yeah.
We got Argos.
You have Argos. So that's 10 teams, and they all get the support that they pretty much need.
Blue Jays.
Put them in.
Oh, you said put them. Okay, I just check.
Put them over the Leafs because fucking Leafs are horrible. Leafs are absolutely
but I'll tell you what. I am true testament and witness to this. I've been in an environment where TFC is playing and the fans are sold out. Raptors or Leafs are playing and it's sold out. And Jays are playing and it's sold out. How is this possible, though?
You've been to I think, to the best of the best with the Jays. Like I
Bautista,
think,
because that era.
Were you at the game where he did the bat flip?
No, because I was at TFC game.
Oh, because they had Giovinco in that era, right?
That era, and we were in the playoffs there.
Yeah.
That was going on, and they were in the playoffs there.
Yeah.
Basketball or hockey was playing there.
Both.
And I'm just like, I was just amazed about, I'll call my friends, like, yo, how's basketball? He goes, yeah, man, it's packed. I'm like, okay. I know the Jays because all the eyes were on the Jays fighting for the playoffs. They were very good there, right?
Yeah. And then you're at the TFC game,
and it's packed because sold, it's playoffs, right?
It's really cool, man. It's really
amazing, man. Amazing.
And you know what?
And the World Cup is coming.
That's what I was gonna say.
Year.
This kind of stuff gets me really excited for what kind of thing.
Here it grows, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. November 12th was yesterday. It was that 7 months to June 12th kickoff to World Cup here in Toronto. I can't wait, man. I just can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, that's how I feel, man. I'm so excited, bro.
It's gonna be
I'm
sick,
so excited.
Man.
I'm white boy excited. Cool. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked.
Dude, I'm buzzing for this.
I'm buzzing.
I'm buzzing for this, man. This is gonna be so rad.
Yeah.
White boy stoked. Speaking of World Cup, let's go on. Our boys are facing South America, as you put it, Venezuela and Ecuador. Let's start off with Venezuela. Now, I think...
Well, let's start with Ecuador, because Ecuador's first.
Is Ecuador first?
Yeah, Ecuador's first. Yeah.
Start off with Ecuador, okay? Ecuador are undefeated in their last 5 games. Canada boasts a relatively uneven record. Yeah, I think we're pretty much... I would like to think we're the better team. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, yeah. Well, let's just pause for a second.
I'm not going to pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes. You know, let's call a spade. Ecuador qualified through South America.
They did.
And I don't know how much people know about the world football, but that's a very, very difficult region to qualify from.
Oh, yeah.
With all the likes of the powerhouses coming from South America.
The physicality of the game.
And we know Ecuador, I've played against them. They're beasts.
Yeah?
They are specimens.
You got any stories from Ecuador days?
Yeah, they're beasts and they're specimens. I still have bruises to show you from playing against
Deep
Ecuador.
trauma
no,
from
we played them here. We played Ecuador here in Toronto.
How'd it go?
I can't remember. I think we tied 1-1, or maybe they won 2-1, or maybe we won 2-1. You caught me off guard with that one. But I remember playing them, and I remember walking out, and I'm looking over. I'm like, these guys are huge,
big guys,
strong, solid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
solid. Not that means anything. You're right. Because I'm just looking at that means I can hit you harder. But, very good team
Yeah.
in the world of football.
Skilled.
Very, very skilled, fast, athleticism, and we can't look and say, okay, they lost 3 of their last games. I think actually one was to U.S. maybe.
Well, I'm saying Ecuador undefeated in their last 5.
Oh, they're undefeated.
Undefeated in their last 5. Canada have the uneven
that,
record.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because this Ecuador team has a very deep squad.
Yeah, it's one of those teams that's you look at and it's a dark horse, and I think like you said, you put it perfectly. Any team that qualifies out of that pool, you gotta respect them.
Well, man, I'm
You have to
beating your
respect
last
them.
5 games.
Smaller pool, but you're facing a lot. You're facing the better teams more, which is it's not ideal for a nation like Ecuador, like the smaller teams, but nonetheless, they had a dogfight and they pulled it out. This is going to be a tough game, man.
This
is going to be a
very
really
tough.
tough game. And I'm looking for this break as a fan, as somebody who has, I would think, high expectations for Canada in the World Cup. I'm expecting to see very solid performances. I'm expecting to see consistency. My biggest thing heading into this window, I don't know if you share that, I need to see Jonathan David in better form. Because right now he's got 1 goal in 10 matches with Juve. And like we discussed last week, I'm not blaming David for that whatsoever. It's Juve's fault. But I need to see him. I need to see a spark. I need to see a little more love for the game, a little more joy. Because, I'm sure you can attest this. When you play for a team that's not doing well, that's very, very defensive, that doesn't prioritize goal scoring or offensive style of play, it kind of hampers your joy for the game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tough because again, it's another new environment for the young man. And let's be honest, he's 24 years old, Jonathan David?
He's 25.
24, 25.
Yeah.
He's still young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
he's my age.
That's going to take time for him to adapt to a new culture.
Totally.
A new way of playing. The coach hasn't really put so much trust into him just yet, which could be frustrating. And
they just got a new coach too, which is the annoying thing. It's like he's a very uneven situation.
Yeah. So when you factor in all those things, I would like to think coming to Toronto is the best thing could happen for him. I want to say this is a breath of fresh air for a lot of those guys.
It is.
And they're like, we're back in Toronto. The energy of the city and all that stuff. And I would like to know that they're going to thrive in that environment against a very, very tough opponent. But what I really like is the fact that we're getting home matches and we're getting consistent home matches. Mm-hmm. And it's being Canada Soccer is being considerate of the fact that, the World Cup is here next year. So these guys need to understand the dynamics, the complexities, what it's like to play in home soil, how you manage your friends, your parents, how to manage that whole situation to play at home, because this is where you're going to have to deal with, because all these games are preparation for the World Cup. And there's no bad outcome, believe it or not. Even if knock on wood, even if Ecuador comes and spanks us.
Yeah, no, it's
There's
good.
nothing bad that could happen there. It's just experience, what we need to work on different, what we need to tweak. And I think we're going to be all right tonight. I think we're going to come out flying. Yep. We have to because this Ecuador team is not no pushover team. This is a very solid, talented, and highly anticipated Ecuadorian side that even in Ecuador, they have high hopes for this squad.
Yeah, they do. And you know what is going to be even greater in our fact is I guarantee you these guys are not going to like the cold weather near the lakeshore.
Yeah, bring on the snow.
I want it to hail outside, all right? You're telling me that our boys can't handle a little bit of snow and hail? They just saw what happened in the CPL. They're inspired. Make it snow. Make it hail. No, I agree with you. I think, Jesse Marsh has named a squad of 24 players. To me, that is indicating a little bit of experimentation, a little bit of I want to make a bunch of subs. I want to see who can play, who's better suited for this position versus that position. I think, like you said, this is going to be a very valuable experience for the coach, for the players to get a better feel of what they like, what they don't like, who they like to play, how they like to play, stuff like that. And I think,
I think he's going all in on Ecuador. I think he's going with his best team.
You think so?
100%, because Ecuador, in no disrespect to Venezuela, is a far superior
for sure,
than Venezuela.
So you think
right?
they're going to go? He's going to go best 11, just to get a good test.
100%.
Yeah, I get
that would be my approach.
Yeah.
Playing at home, playing in Toronto, the
Statement.
venue you're playing at in 7 months for kickoff for the World Cup. Can't wait, right? Oh man, it's just, oh man. To be young again.
You know what's going
to be young again,
really
be in
interesting,
that environment.
Man? Those guys,
I'm gonna cry.
I think,
June 12th. I feel like I'm almost crying now.
Yeah.
June 12th, knowing that the World Cup is gonna be in our hometown.
After all you've done for the sport here,
I can't
surprised.
believe it. I'm there with the mascots, and I'm just sitting back and just watching. I'm just like, this. I can't believe this is.
You're gonna have to take it all
really
in.
happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is really happening.
Yeah.
Like this is my biggest dreams to ever just play in a World Cup.
Yeah.
Just even if I step on the field and I came off and they said, DeRo, you have to retire tomorrow. I'm like, I'm good. I accomplished my dream.
If you had to hop into the squad right now,
I would 100%. I would kill it too. I'd be Apollo Creed, buddy. I'd be running and lifting sandbags and.
All right. Okay. So 7 months down to the World Cup, do you think you could get like fully back to like professional
100%,
fitness?
100%.
Yeah?
I have the eye of the tiger, bro.
And then would you start? You think?
No, that's pushing.
Would you come on at like 60 minutes?
I'd be a great 12th man. I'd be the best 12th. Just give me the 12th man.
If you came on and scored a goal in that opening match, this city would burn, man. This city would go crazy.
Crazy. I would go. I would go above and beyond.
I think it would be. I think June 12th would be National DeRo Day.
Yeah, bro. I'll go above and beyond to make sure that I'm ready for that match. I would be like, if I'm a player right now or a young player and I'm on the fence, I'd be so zeroed in and trying to make that team and do whatever it takes.
Oh yeah. Well, by my estimation, I think especially with sports in this city, the athletes that play here and are good and on a pedestal, they're almost looked like as gods. And I think those guys heading in when they play their game in Toronto, like if they hopefully, they win that game, they will be remembered in this city forever.
Oh, for sure.
By the
First
same
World Cup win.
By the same token, these guys gotta make sure they stay focused. I've seen a lot of players and athletes in this city that get all the fame and they lose their marbles.
No, 100%. I see it over and over and over and over again.
This is a city that if you let it swallow you up, it will.
It will swallow you up.
Will.
I have no mercy.
With every type of clout you could imagine.
Yeah.
So
there's always something going on. Monday to Sunday, there's some distraction going on. There's
always somebody distracting you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like,
but you know what? I think Jesse runs a very tight ship.
Totally.
I think the players understand the value of what's ahead of them.
Yeah.
And the importance of what's ahead of them.
100%.
The responsibility of what's ahead of them and the opportunity of what's ahead of them, being the fact that we're hosting the World Cup here. And I don't think any player of those players are going to take that moment for granted, even though some of them have already played in Qatar. I do truly believe that they really understand the long-lasting impact and the legacy that they could create here in Canada. And I heard Jesse March says that he thinks that the World Cup is going to be bigger than the World Series. It's going to blow the World Series out of the water.
No, I mean,
you can't even compare.
Sheer viewership,
with all due respect to
viewership numbers. The World Series got 12.9 million.
Yeah,
the World Cup gets billions.
Yeah,
billions.
And the stadium is not going to be able to hold the amount of people that's going to be surrounding the stadiums. No. I'm going to be a part of the World Cup draw December 5th in Washington, D.C. And on that day, we'll see who we're hosting, and I can't wait.
That's going to be a wicked episode when you get back from that
trip.
Oh, man. Hey? Holy shit.
Man. I'm not going to share. Me not share, you know?
No, I think, we're all touched up on this. I think, some returning veterans for Canada, the likes of Junior Hoylett, Jonathan Osorio, our boy, and then new faces, Alfie Jones, Owen Goodman, obviously. These are good signs. I also wanted to touch on the fact that there are a few players that Jesse Marsh has recently been interested in that are dual citizens of other nations. Mm-hmm. And one of those nations is Canada, and they've chosen Canada. Mm-hmm. So we can say that for a discussion later on about the growth of the sport in the country. But I think all of this is very, very promising for the Canada's men's national team.
Well, that's testament to everything that we spoke about earlier, of what's going on, the movement that's going on in Canada around the game. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see even more of that. But let's not get it twisted, is that Canada soccer is here. It's really here. Like
Yeah.
it's not. There's no going back with the FIFA. With FIFA coming here and stamping their FIFA brand, I think even at an association level, we're realizing now how professional and how serious it is. And that's going to only help our association to make sure that we are keeping up, and even not even keeping up, we are trying to set new standards, like the Germans, like the Argentinians, like the Brazilians, like the rest of the world, like our neighbors in the U.S. Right?
Yeah.
Where now you can go to any field in the whole of the U.S. and it is carpet. And I hope that same effect, despite the weather, we're gonna see those same environments here, and I truly believe that we will, and not only just optically, but also internally from an association standpoint, and how on our governance and how we run things is gonna be a lot more organized, a lot more professional. Shout out to my to my boy who just created a group chat, Fitz. Shout out to you, and I'm just gonna. Honorable mention here. He set up a group chat with all past and present players of Canada soccer. Never, and it's crazy because I always thought about doing something like that. I just didn't know how. He didn't just think about it. He's executing it.
Yeah.
And people that could execute stuff like that, bring in the guys from the 70s. Bring in the guys that, were on the national team that have got injured and couldn't have a career because they dedicated their bodies to our national programs. They broke a foot or got an injury that they couldn't recover from because they don't have the sports science as we do today. But those guys have to be accounted for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All these players have to be accounted for, as I go back to my original comment when we first started the show, is because they are part of the reason why we are where we are today. So shout out to you, Fitz, and great job for uniting all the players in our program and, making sure that they have a presence and they have a place and they also have a say in terms of how this game is moving forward. Because we have some brilliant football minds from all walks of life.
Big time.
Not just English, Scottish, Italian. We have so many different great thinkers of the game, well-versed of the game, that all can contribute and what makes this society rich and diverse in what it is.
I'm going to ask you a question here. How many years until Canada achieves a top 10 ranking in FIFA?
Not long, man. Not long. To be honest, again, I remember our last episode, we were talking about some of those teams that are in the top 20 and how we're not in there. It baffles me.
I see a lot of teams that were better than
We've
currently.
beat Mexico. We've beat Italy. We've beat USA many of times. We should be in at least the top 20 right now.
Yep.
So to say that we're not in the top 10, I think after this World Cup, I think we'll be positioned in a place where it's reachable. It's
attainable. Yeah.
It's attainable.
Yeah. I think so too. I think the one thing that at least consumers of sports don't understand about FIFA and about soccer is the magnitude of it. And how difficult it is and how tactical of a sport it is. We don't get it over here. We just don't. Whether that's because we grew up on hockey historically, whether that's because a lot of people focus on baseball or football or whatever it is.
No,
they don't understand the magnitude of the sport.
It's the power of it's the power of our sports networks that doesn't push soccer.
True. Yeah.
It never pushed soccer.
Big focus on hockey, big focus on baseball.
Yeah. Back page of the print.
Yes.
Where you go in the rest of the world, as soon as you land, you look on the screen, it's like soccer there. Go on the paper, soccer in the front.
People
everywhere, it's just football. Not even football.
People don't understand like the infrastructure that the sport brings. And how truly followed it is. When you go to other countries that have like largely commercialized and developed leagues and stadiums and followings, we don't even come close.
No.
Like
name me a bigger brand than FIFA on the planet.
Name me a bigger brand. There's no bigger brand than UEFA, FIFA.
No. But FIFA. Name me a bigger brand than FIFA on this planet.
I can't. FIFA is the biggest. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. No, I really try to think about this. McDonald's, KFC. I don't know. Like, that just has a worldwide like impact on every single country on this planet.
Yeah,
that every single country has a professional football league,
as a
team to represent their country. My son is playing for Guyana, and he's playing.
Congratulations on that, by the way. I saw that.
And I had to say, who? He started laughing. He goes, Barbuda. I go, who's Antigua? I'm like, oh, I didn't even know there were two separate. Again, sorry for my geography, and I'm Caribbean, but I didn't know. I thought it was Antigua and Barbuda. Like it's one. There's like Trinidad and Tobago. It's not like Tobago has a professional team,
and then it's Trinidad,
right?
Yeah.
It's Trinidad and Tobago as one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And people say, "Oh, we're playing against Trinidad," and they always forget like Tobago, but it's Trinidad and Tobago,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So when he said you're playing Barbuda, I'm like, who? Barbuda. I go, I don't even know where that is. He goes, Antigua and Barbuda. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know.
Damn. So they got their
they're
own
playing
team.
Barbuda and on Saturday and Antigua.
Where are they playing?
They're playing in Antigua.
You're gonna go?
I would love to go, but no, I can't. I can't go, man. I would love to, but I'm gonna be watching on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that your son's?
It sounds nice though. Beach, water, warm.
Have you seen the weather outside?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I would go, but because it's a new coach and everything, give me space. Sometimes I gotta let them have their space to experience it and stuff like that. Because if I go now, he knows I'm there. It's like, Dad, come see me. I just wanted to new
Branch
coach,
out a little
new
bit.
environment,
get used to it.
get used
climatized.
to that. Exactly.
But no, you're right. I think FIFA probably is the biggest corp in the world. I don't think it's close, and I also think it's crazy how it's a sporting corporation too, which is even more wild. But what I was saying before is, I think we're not like we will be ready for it infrastructure wise and planning wise. I'm sure the fans, the people, the locals in this country who have not consumed football or soccer on a wide basis, who have not branched out and watched other leagues, or do not know about how the infrastructure works in Europe and in South America, they're in for one hell of a surprise.
Oh yeah,
because they think like.
But I'll tell you, they're silently supporting it. They're silently watching their Serie A. They're silently watching the German.
They're closeted like
Serie A. When they're home, they're like they love football still.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, no, they do. And I just think, like, for example, we've had two events this past year that have really been the major attraction on the city. The first was the Four Nations, where Canada, U.S., Sweden, Finland, the hockey won, and they played and they won against the U.S. in the final. And then there was the World Series. And both of those times, I think everybody in the city, and in the World Series, especially the nation, you're walking around, Blue Jays cap on. You're looking at the thing, the game's on at the bar, and it's packed. And that's like a really cool feeling as a Torontonian when you walk by and see that. They don't understand. Not even when Canada's playing, man.
Listen, I'm at the Blue Jays game, right? And the guy's catching the ball. I can't remember who was catching it, but the opposing team. I think it was the Marlies. Was it Marlies? Seattle Mariners. The Mariners. I'm not a baseball guy, I'm clearly. Yeah. So Mariners catching the ball. I'm like, drop it. And the people are looking at me like, I'm like, you guys don't yell? Like,
dude, they don't.
It's like, and then after that, it's just like, go Chase, go. I'm like, you guys.
I've had a discussion with so many people about what an ultra section at the Leafs Jays would do for the team, or the Raptors. An ultra section like they do in football. Take our Red Patch Boys, or the Voyagers for Canada.
Yeah,
like,
bring them in there.
Dude, do you know what it would do for the team? Like, everybody talks about, and this will be a quick sidebar, everybody talks about the Leafs. Oh,
Security would have a nightmare, though.
Yeah. They don't want the Leafs.
Sit down.
Leafs players
see the game.
Leafs players don't want it. Leafs players on this. You put just one corner of Scotiabank, fill it up, and make it all Ultra fans with shirts off and posters and drums. They will see that. Fuck yeah. Look at that. Fired up. The boys are here. I want to go. Let's get active. We don't. We got a bunch of corporate people who sit and watch the game.
Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. There's a place for that too.
We do get crazy, but you're right, man. Like,
nothing like TFC fans when you go to that and you look at that section there and they're rocking and you hear the best part is when you hear them coming into the stadium.
Yeah,
and
they're
you hear
loud.
the chanting and they're coming into the stadium all the way from Liberty Village.
Yeah.
There's no other sports culture
that's like
environment that is like that.
No.
Meet the pub from 1:00 in the afternoon, games at 7:30, and then you're marching to the game. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Only in football I've seen that.
100%.
Internationally, globally. I was in Argentina, and they are.
It's almost dangerous.
Level.
It's borderline dangerous.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to touch on that because we were at a game where some crazy shit happened, and the game got banned because the fans went ham.
Well, you can't just tease us like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened at the game?
Oh, bro, it was at the Independiente game when they played against a team from Chile.
Okay.
And the Chile fans were causing all sorts of mayhem in the place, chanting. And, they're chanting against the ultras on that side.
Yeah.
And they're chanting back. But the way that the stadium is designed, they put the fans, the away fans, on top of the home fans down here. So they start throwing stuff down, right? And I'm catching all this play, and I'm seeing them, down here.
Where you see them?
Games going on. I'm sitting here. We're
Okay.
sitting up top, so we're seeing the
So, yeah,
the
you're
field
good. Yeah, okay.
from down there. We're in a good spot.
Okay.
Right. So when I'm looking to my right, I'm seeing pandemonium going on with the local fans. They start backing up to where like the layer comes and covers them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then some of them are like looking up and they're cussing back and forth. And I keep seeing shit flying from the top down.
Jeez.
So I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? This doesn't look good. So halftime comes, and next thing you know, it's like cussing going on back and forth. So some of the fans came to this side, right? The way the stadium is designed, it's like this section on the side of the field is like has its section, and then to go there, you can't go. You got to come downstairs. You got to walk around the stadium to go this section. It's kind of way it's designed, right?
Yeah.
So the fans that were sitting on the corner here started talking back and forth to the fans there and started throwing shit back to the fans there. So this guy sets this cherry bomb over there, and all I hear is boom into the home fans section. Why did he do that? All of a sudden, I looked to the left where the ultras were, and all of a sudden, I just saw it start clearing out. Because they started going around to try to get into it. They were like, they were going to fuck you guys up. Like, how dare you come into our stadium? And it's merely like, I don't know, maybe 1,000. I'll give maybe 1,000 away fans, right?
It's 1,000 people, though.
I know that's South America. They're different level, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000 fans, but
Sure.
it's also a 50,000 seat stadium. So out of that 1,000, 49 of it is the local fans, and I don't know how much you
Out of
know
49,
about
about, like,
Independiente
15
in
are-
Argentina fans.
yeah.
Like they don't even have away fans at their stadiums because it's that crazy. So when I look to the left and I see that place clearing out, I said, shit. I said, guys, because I brought a team there to look, and I talked to the man. He's like, yo, should we leave? He's like, we're not going. Even the locals, like, you're not going anywhere right now because you don't want to go down with those
Get
hooligans,
caught up in the mix.
Hooligans, and you're trying to leave, and you have family and prayer. So I said, okay, let's wait this out. But I'm a little unsettled because I know how this situation goes sometimes. Playing in Central America, shit, it could get real hostile real quick.
Yeah.
So these two kids like, coach, I have to go pee. I have to go to the washroom. Bye. So I said, okay, fine. I'm taking you. Because at that time, it's like, you guys are my responsibilities. Anything happens, I'm making sure that I have to take the licks, right?
Yeah.
But, everyone loves Canadians all over the place. So, but still,
We got a good rep.
Their security is my priority, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I'll walk you guys to the washroom. Walk them to the washroom. So while they're in there, I'm seeing this guy walking with I actually look over to my left, and the guy's laid down flat, blood gushing out of his head, right? And all I see is like a bunch of ultras fly by me, and I'm kind of like, guys, like, let's hurry up in the washroom, like hurry up and pee, bro, like let's go back up to our seat. This ultra fan is trying to pick up this huge pole. Where he got it from, I have no idea. Like, I mean, a massive pole. Like the pole it's big, and poles are heavy.
Yeah.
This guy's picking up, and I guess some of the fans like, yo, relax it, and he's ready to fight everyone. He's like, no, look what these, my Spanish is not so good,
Sure,
but he's saying, look what they did to my friend. Someone's gonna have to pay. And then the security guard came and grabbed him and said, no, and he pushed the security guard back. And the security guy looks at him. He's like, okay, this guy, I'm not messing with him because he looks like he's ready to eat my head.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was so he picked up the pole, threw it on his back, and walked with the pole right through the stand, like the walkway. By the stands. Guys came up and they're like, coach, they looked at, I go, guys, don't look over there. Let's go upstairs. So they go upstairs, and of course, I'm like, holy, this is gonna be bad. So he took the pole to basically break down the barricade. Because from where the away fans are, where the away fans are, they section it off.
So did they have it? Was the section off with glass, or was it with a cage?
No, it's a metal cage and locked, so you can't get in.
Yeah.
So, but these guys are like, no, we're getting in because we're gonna mess them up. So the commentators are like, the players come on the field from both teams are telling them, listen, guys, calm down, relax up there, because they kept throwing. This time now they're throwing like porcelain from the toilet seats.
Holy shit!
They're going crazy. The Chilean fans, like they're like, no, we're here. We're in it to win it. And the players are like, guys, the local the away team are like, calm down, but they wouldn't. They kept going and going. And then the commentators like, listen, the game won't resume until all the Chilean fans leave. And of course, the local fans they're singing their songs. You guys, whatever, they're singing to them, chant them. So of course, don't forget, in those sections, you probably have some family members, you have some friends. So I would say 80% of the fans started clearing out.
Okay.
Right, rightfully so, because they're like not all of them are like, they're like, you guys are idiots, man. You're just messing up this whole game for everybody. Yeah, you're like, there's families, there's kids, like there's all different walks of life, right? It's a cup game.
Yeah.
So they start leaving, but the hooligans, they wanted to stay, and they wanted to show that no matter what, we're not leaving the stadium. So
that's hooliganism, though, for you, though. To be fair,
that is, and that's the bad side, the negative side of hooligan, because they just disrupted the whole game.
Yeah.
Right? That these guys been training all week for, to prepare for, and now it's disrupted because the fans can't keep their act together.
So they cut the game off then.
They canceled the game.
Oh jeez.
And the local Independiente fans went mad.
So then it was like
they broke in to the away fan section. So don't forget, 80% left. Yeah. So that means 20% is left.
Your battalion.
And they're cussing like, let me see, cursing like this, and they're still barring back and forth. All I see is red smoke coming up from their fan section. If you guys pick up, they're at the top level.
Jeez.
All I see is red smoke coming up, and the local fans like, and they start cheering because they know their fans got into the section.
In and they set out off.
So the guys are like this, and they look back and they see the red smoke. All of a sudden they're like, oh shit. You know, like
an
army of red
breached the gates, like
breached.
You're
You're done. They beat the. It wasn't a pretty sight. I felt bad that the kids there, but they got.
In case you're there watching.
Yeah, we went to see a cup match.
I know,
and show them passion.
Yeah,
they saw passion. All right, they saw a passion that they've never ever gonna see again for the rest of their life.
Never, because
that game made world news.
Did it?
Yeah, bro. They destroyed the local Chilean fans. They destroyed the stadium. They ripped out the toilet seats. They're throwing feces down at them. They're ripping out bars and just anything to make weapons and stuff. So we sat there from our position, and we looked over to the top of the stands, and we watched these guys get their heads
How
pummeled.
long were you there for?
They stripped them down, all of them, bare, naked, and we're giving them belts.
What do you mean the Independiente fans?
Fans
stripped them down naked?
Stripped them down naked.
That's fucked up.
And said, bro, you disrespect our state, our place like this? How dare you? How dare you coming to our home and disrespect us like that? Oh, they got licks, bro. They got licks. The game was suspended. Someone, I don't know. I don't know. A guy got thrown over the top and fell. We thought he was dead. They said he survived. I'm questionable how much those guys actually survived, because what we saw was bro, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I think that's an element of the game in South America that'll never go away.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, because in the 70s, in the 80s and 90s, England had a real hooliganism problem.
Yeah.
Because they love to drink, and then they would go absolutely
Well, that hooligan
crazy.
problem has been going on since football started, and it's still going on. It hasn't changed. And it's nuts.
England had a reform about it, and it worked. Because now, like, I've been to a couple of games in England. Like, it's a family environment for the most part, except in the sections where it's like a bunch of guys. But it's never like that. It's never hooliganism. It'll never go away in South America. Like they actually can't. There's no way to tackle it, and they're tackling it by bringing other big police forces, and they're being like it's just violence.
The police just stood outside.
Yeah,
the police just stood outside. They're like, "Yo, we're not."
Well, do you remember the Copa Libertadores when it was the final between Boca and River, and they were throwing rocks through the bus?
Yeah,
I think it was it might have been the Boca bus or whatever it was. They were throwing rocks through the window of the bus, the player bus.
Yeah,
like it'll never ever stop.
Crazy.
And it's fascinating. I think I love the passion from them.
Let's get back to the script here.
Get back to the script.
But passion in South America, Speaking about that, kind of is Ecuador, kind of is Venezuela.
Yeah.
You will see that passion on the field with those South American teams. One of them, Venezuela, didn't qualify for the World Cup, but again, still a country that I think is very solid, very strong, and as we said, is going to play with a lot of passion.
Well, they got a little bit of history with Venezuela. Remember, they defeated them in the quarterfinal of the Copa on penalties.
Yeah.
That was that match. So I think there's a little history
I
there.
scored against
So
them.
you did?
Yeah, scored against Venezuela.
Come on. I also saw your ranking, Top 10 MLS player on all-time Sports Illustrated. I would have had you a little higher.
Really?
I would have had you higher. I think you're better than Robbie Keane. Can we fucking be honest here? Come on now.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
I appreciate it. Stats don't lie. I always say stats don't lie. So when you pad stats to stats,
We'll have a conversation with Sports Illustrated. But
I'm just a Canadian kid, man.
Yeah.
I'm just a Scarborough kid.
Superstar,
Guyanese
man.
roots.
Let's round out with our MLS Cup here, man. We got a Canadian team in the Final Four in a matchup that is mouth-watering.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Muller versus Heung-min Son. It's Vancouver versus LAFC. Both are offensive juggernauts. They finished second and third in the standings with only 3 points separating them, a 1-win, 3-goal differential. So, I don't know. How are you feeling about this matchup, DeRo? They got two of them. They're such similar profiles. They both have star scorers, and then they both have that veteran who came from Europe that is unbelievable. And, of course, I got to shout out Ali Ahmed, our Canadian boy, showing up for Vancouver with 9 assists.
Yeah, there's quite a few
Brilliant,
of them
brilliant.
showing up and showing up well.
But how are you feeling about this match? Like, what do you think the favorites going in? How do you think Vancouver can take it to them and go to the final?
They definitely need to. They definitely need to. Vancouver, for me, the most consistent team in MLS. Well, San Diego, I would say.
But
as well.
San Diego, they were tied for points with San Diego. And they had more wins.
But in the sense of from start to finish, right? Those two teams have been consistently dominating from the start of the league till now. That matchup will be juicy, but of course, that matchup is not going to happen unless San Diego takes care of business and Vancouver take care of business. And Vancouver's up against a very, very talented LA squad, very deep, that is flying on all form right now. Past winners. But of course, I always got to give it to our Canadian side, Vancouver. Would be nice to see them in the final. Be nice to see another Canadian team host the MLS Cup. But they're not going to do that if they're not ready to compete and battle against a very deep LA team.
100%. And I think this is similarly to when we were talking about the Jays earlier on. It feels like destiny for Vancouver. They're having the best season debatably in club history. They have guys like Tristan Blackmon, who's the defender of the year. They have Brian White, who's got 16 goals. They have Muller, who's been injected into that squad, and he's just really taken it by the reins. I think I would like to see Vancouver win, but there is some crazy stats that I got on this sheet about Heung-min Son that are worrying the dice out of me. They are scaring
and let's not
me.
let's just before we get into him, let's not forget Bouanga
and Berhalter too.
20 plus 3 years, 20 plus goals. He's at what, 26 goals this year?
Yes.
26 goals in all competition and 10 assists.
That's a season. That's a season.
And he's had 3 of them. And he just qualified for the World Cup with his country, African Nations Cup.
Yeah.
So he's someone to look out for.
Yeah, it's this LA team is very dangerous, and then when you add somebody like Son to the mix, it's getting scary. I'm gonna read off 5 numbers here about Heung-min Son that are gonna definitely scare Vancouver fans. Son is in the 89th percentile among his potential peers for non-penalty goals per 90. So he's expected to score a goal every game, and that goal is expected to come from outside of a penalty.
Yeah.
All right? He's in the 91st percentile for expected assists per game. He's in the 93rd percentile for progressive passes, the 94th for progressive carries, the 96th percentile for successful take-ons. He takes on players, and he dribbles by them with ease.
Where do you get this shit from?
Because I'm the guy, man. I'm the guy.
He's the diehard.
I'm the guy.
That's amazing.
It'll be
well done, bro. I didn't know all that.
Now you do. Eh?
They break it down to the percentage.
Yeah, there's the website. It's called FB Reference. If you search up the right stats and the right profiles, you'll get shit like this. And it literally for Son, it's all green. I mean, I don't know how you feel. I'm not a big guy on expected goals per game.
But when you see those stats and then you compare it with his partner in crime, Boanga, with 26 goals and 10 assists, and Mark Delgado with 9 assists, it's a potent attack.
It's a
preposterous and we've
attack.
seen it throughout the year.
Yeah.
And we've seen it most recently at how they just dissected their last opponent. And Vancouver has a huge uphill battle. But also, let's give credit where credit's due. Vancouver also have their weapons in Thomas Mueller and Brian White. Both of them, Brian White, 16 goals. Okay, yes, it's not 26, but it's still 16 goals.
Still a very good season.
He was been injured. He missed some games, right? And of course, Thomas Mueller. What's there to say about this player of his caliber, world-class player, pedigree out the frame,
mentality,
World Cup legend,
hell yeah,
FIFA legend,
yeah,
and has 8 goals in 9 games. Mm-hmm. So he's a force to be reckoned with. They're a force to be reckoned with, and you could bet your bottom dollar that this is gonna be an action-packed, filled with goals, head-to-head competition.
I think that the obviously the biggest, most headline worth battle is Son versus Mueller.
Did I just say bet your bottom dollar?
You bet your bottom dollar.
I did
you're in white boy mode today, eh? Radical, stoked. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I think the biggest battle we got to focus on is Son versus Mueller. These guys have played to get against each other in Europe. They've been successful in Europe. Mueller has won every trophy you can win as a team, as a player. And they both bring such a different element to the game. Son I view as a dynamic winger. Son I view as a guy who's probably a little quiet in the dressing room, but very good vibes.
He's
always
fun.
smiling,
Yeah,
really fun. But he's just he's like a knife. He's like a sharp knife. Whereas Mueller is like, you ever see Indiana Jones? The first one, the big ball that comes in the chamber and chases him out. Uh-huh. That's what Mueller is. Mueller is the inevitable push and crush of German football. So I think they're two contrasting players with contrasting personalities, but they're both unbelievably productive, and I think it's going to be very exciting.
I'm excited to see these two duel it out, and like I said, I could only imagine it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's like who scores more goals than the opposing team.
Literally, yeah. It's going to be it's going to be like Liverpool versus Liverpool. With the amount of goals they're going to score and the amount of defense that's going to be absent.
Let's go Vancouver.
Guys, we've reached the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening to DeRo and the Diehard. Of course, we'll be back next week, every Friday, with the best soccer podcast north of the border. DeRo?
Let's go Canada. Let's go AFC. And let's go World Cup 2026. Brace yourself.
See